Because I never really had a dream of going to college, but I just used all that to keep pushing forward because I'm like, yo, I know I can make this happen. We all like love hip hop, but we all come from a diverse sense of music. Care who you are. When I walk into a room, I'm gonna say hi to the janitor.
What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Dorm 101 podcast, the podcast that has everything and nothing to do about college. I am your girl, Maya Gittins, and of course, I'm here with my roomie, Victoria, and we actually have a special guest with us today.
Talk about it.
Oh, can we introduce you first before you start chatting? Damn, Victoria's gonna introduce our guest, even though he's already talking, but period. Go ahead, give him one, Victoria.
Okay, so today's special guest is repping Daemen College today. He has paved his way in the music industry, and he was formerly working at Sony Music, MTV, and BET. He is currently head of On the Radar Records and also facilitates brand partnerships for On the Radar. Welcome, John Nurse.
Rob helped you write that?
Maybe a little bit. No, maybe a little bit. You know?
Rob definitely helped you write that.
John, let's go.
How y'all doing? What's the word? Y'all roomies? Was y'all ever really roomies?
I know, but
okay,
we basically
are
roomies
roomies now, though.
Feel you?
Yeah,
in
you
a
know,
professional sense. I heard you.
You know, it's nothing too crazy. It's it's pretty slight, nothing too wild. You know.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh my God, who am I talking to? But tell us about your college experience, John.
I like the fact that y'all said Daemen College and not Daemen University. Cause I saw you had JV up here, and now it's called Daemen University. But I'm a little bit older.
Oh.
And I was there when it was Daemen College.
Okay. Daemen University / Daemen College.
Daemen College / Daemen University. But let's wrap.
Okay. Cool. Tell us about your college experience.
I mean, that's kind of a hard question. I ain't gonna lie, because my college experience was eventful and very much shaping to my career.
Yeah.
Aside from being a student, I started my first business at Daemen. I don't know. It was humbling, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
What was your major?
Business marketing.
Oh, okay.
Business marketing. At the time when it was Daemen College, you know, that was the closest I could get to anything that made sense for my life. Yeah.
Really?
Because, you know, when JV was here, he mentioned that they had, his course was business entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That wasn't offered when I was there. Like, that wasn't a course.
Really?
That's something they made up after.
Oh, wow.
Like, everything I learned about being an entrepreneur, I learned while being at Daemen, but it was a hands-on experience.
Okay.
So, like, my major was business marketing, but I ended up, using that to elevate my life.
So how do you feel like going to Daemen University now? Like, that's the school. But how did you feel about, like, the college in general, just, like, going there? Like, what do you feel like you got out of that school?
I will say it set my life up more so because I never really had a dream of going to college.
Oh, okay.
So the experience itself helped shape me to be where I'm at today. Like, just the networking, the people I met, the things I was able to do that I never thought really I would do in hindsight.
Oh, wow.
Or I didn't see myself doing, or necessarily because, like, when I was a kid, I used to, I say running around the street, but I used to run around the streets, not like I'm a whole gangster or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I used to be outside, just running around with the homies or on the stoop chilling.
Yeah.
Like, college was never really my mindset.
Okay.
Like, I was actually going to the military was my thoughts at the time. So Daemen just kind of helped shape the social skills I needed to be here today.
Yeah. So how did you even, like, know about Daemen College? Like, how did that even come about?
Like, what made you...
A recruiter.
Oh, really?
A recruiter. I ended up graduating from Westinghouse High School, downtown Brooklyn.
Okay.
Carmen Wingard was the recruiter. He came to Daemen, spoke. He ended up recruiting like 7 of us, not for nothing.
Oh, wow.
So like 7 people from Westinghouse went to Daemen. And like I said, I wasn't planning on going to college. Like, he spoke, I applied, I got accepted. Fuck it.
No, I'm not. Listen.
So you went in, right, and you chose business marketing. What made you choose that? Like, what was your, like, ideal? Like, oh, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to be.
Honestly, it just made sense at the time. I don't see myself doing anything else that made sense in that regard. Like, couldn't be an accountant. Like, those numbers hurt my head in that sense. I wasn't interested in being nobody's PR or like hospitalities, nothing like that.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, if I get this degree, I could probably turn this into something later on in life. I'll figure it out as I go along. But that was basically it. Really, honestly, and you want to know, my cousin, he used to intern at Atlantic Records.
Okay.
So I went up there one day, and I seen the way Mike Kaiser, who runs the black entertainment side of Atlantic, was cursing everybody out and like just pointing his finger, and niggas would do things, and I'm like, I want to do that. How do I do that?
So your inspiration was cursing people out.
Honestly.
Got it.
Honestly, not turning to that person sure enough. I was like, okay, so how do I go about doing this? And at the time, Atlantic was in a transition period.
Okay.
Because before, you could just go, if you knew somebody, and be an intern.
Oh, wow.
Be an intern, you know what I mean, get a job, and just hustle. And I always had a hustling spirit. I was always going to do what I had to do to get where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
My cousin's like, oh, nah, that's all changing right now. You got to be in school to get credit. I'm like, school? Credit?
Yeah.
He's like, you got to go get an internship so that way they can put it towards your college credits. I'm like, nigga, I'm not going to college.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you better figure something out. I don't know what to do, because he was in the period where they made the transition, and he had actually dropped out of school, so he ended up having to forge like his paperwork via like what do you call it, Photoshop and whatnot.
Oh my god.
Hand it in so that way he could continue his internship.
Wow.
So I'm like, dang, I really gotta go to school.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up at Daemen. I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna go to the music industry and they're not offering like entrepreneurship classes, they're not offering music business classes, the next best thing I figured was business marketing.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's actually really interesting. So like obviously being in college and just kind of learning the aspect of like business marketing, do you feel like do you use what you learned in school at all? Or like, okay, let me rephrase that, because I feel like he's gonna be like, no. But like in a sense, like some of the classes where maybe you went into a meeting and you're like, oh, okay, like I've used this, or like I've done this before. Like, do you feel like those classes that you had to take benefited you in the long run?
I mean, yes and no, because I started my first business when I was 19. I got my LLC and everything like that.
Wow.
But at that time, I believe I was taking business accounting and like in the marketing program.
Okay.
You know, that first year they just had you doing like your prerequisites and everything like that. By my second year, when I was 19, I started getting into my core classes. And in my core classes, we had like a guy owned his business and he was a professor, and he made us build basically a product from ground up and market it to the class. And that just helped me sharpen my tools, if you will, because I was already building my business from the ground up. So like, all right, I was using what I already knew to apply to that class and like really selling it to somebody else outside of myself and my core audience.
Okay, that makes sense.
Gangsta.
Because I sometimes, yo, John kills me, bro. I'm crying. But like, okay, so obviously now, like we talked about all those things that you've done. How did you even start? First of all, how did you end up at like BT? Was it MTV?
What was first? Like, what was your first?
Actually, my first gig was at Atlantic Records.
Oh,
Okay.
I used to work in promotions in the radio department, basically. And surely enough, I honestly started my career later on than most people. I feel like most people get out of college, get an internship, or while they're in college and start really hone it into their craft. Me, I started at like 24, 25 when I graduated at like 22.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, like my all-time goal in life was to work at Atlantic Records. And that's my overall goal.
yeah.
Like just watching my cousin up there, watching the infrastructure up there, the atmosphere, like I just fell in love with it. But I had to go to school. So I went to school, started my business, and kind of lost track of sight of that. Because I mean, I was doing my own thing at that point. And one of my late friends definitely told me like, yo, I could really see you running a label, like just the way I was at that time.
Yeah.
She's like you're an ass, but like I guess you belong in the music industry.
Yeah.
I'm like, funny enough, that's how I sought out the doing. So I just kind of lost track of that because I was interning at the local radio station up there. I was running my business. I was throwing shows, throwing concerts, throwing parties. I'm like, honestly, I was making more than a lot of the people that were on air in Buffalo or my regular college student peers. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm making money left and right. You kind of lose track of what you really set out for.
Yeah. So let's talk about the all in all, the whole Drake thing. Like,
hold on, because you threw like one of Drake's first shows.
Absolutely.
So how
that went down?
How did that go? Like,
we want the whole story from the beginning.
That's a long story. I ain't gonna hold you. I had to fight for that.
I'm crying. Shorten it.
But like I said, I was doing my own thing, and actually one of my first shows, like, cause I was working with a promotional company called the Ellis Entertainment, and I felt like I was getting looked over for a lot of things. Okay. And that only came about when they brought somebody new that was higher than me. After I was putting the work in, I'm like, oh, y'all lost your mind. Yeah. All right, so watch this. So I pivoted and did my own thing. And one of the first things I was going to do was Springfest. Daemen College Springfest. Daemen is a small private school. So around Buffalo, you got like your UBs, your Buff States, and they had like Nas and Rick Ross and all these major, Mary J. Blige at the time, Fabulous. I'm like, oh, y'all got everybody. Yeah. And that year, we were going to get the Blue Man Group. You know, the boys in all blue playing the instruments. I'm like, oh, y'all gotta be shitting me. And at that point, I made a name for myself enough because the Ellis used to do like the after party for Springfest. And me starting my own thing and being on campus and having relationships, I'm like, nah, that's mine now. Yeah. So you look me up and I'm gonna show you something. So I went to the student council, because I'm part of the student council, and told them, like, look, I'm trying to do this, that, and third. And the student council was clearly lackadaisical, hands off when it comes to like the Springfest. So I went to the guy that handles the money, which was Chris Mallett.
Period. That's where you go.
That's where you go. The guy that whoever signs the check, that's where you go. That's where you go. I like, look, I know you're trying to do this, that, and third, but I think I could do something else. Yeah. He was like, all right, well, if you can make it happen, make it happen. So I mass emailed, attacked, found out everybody on Drake's team, whether it was Chubbs, Future the Prince, Nico. I hit up everybody. Didn't hear anybody. Hearing nothing from anybody. Harassed them again. Kept on harassing them until I heard back. And sure enough, they all started hitting back at the same time. That same week, everybody had an email back. I'm like, oh, now y'all know me.
I'm crying.
But I guess he's gearing up for So Far Gone. And doing a college tour would have been the perfect opportunity for him. Yeah. So I went back to Chris Mallett and was like, yo, they hit me back. I can make this happen. All you got to do is write the check. I handled the writer. I handled the contract agreements, everything. Yeah. The guy who's actually supposed to be on the student board in charge of Springfest, I guess he felt type of way that I was stepping on his toes. And started lobbying against me to the point where I had to fight, really, for Drake, to the point we had to put up to a school vote.
What?
Yeah, so I'm like, wow. He's like, yeah, he feels the type of way. He came with somebody else. I'm like, nah, he came with somebody else. We about to have the Blue Man Group. Now you gonna come with somebody else? At the time, it was Asher Roth. And I'm like, okay, so we're going to put up to the school, say no more. I'm not around campus. I ain't just a guy that just go to school. Yeah. We can do this if you want to do this. Ooh. So I started
because I'm true to this.
I'm true to this. I'm very true to this. I started a Facebook group. And again, my company was in promotions. Yeah. Made some flyers. You know what I mean? I really started promoting the hell out of, yo, bring not even Drake, bring Jimmy. Bring Wheelchair Jimmy to Daemen.
I'm crying.
So it was between Jimmy, Asher Roth, and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Blue Man Group. And at the time, we were charging $1 for Daemen students to attend the show. Yeah. So clearly, I won that one. Yeah. Bought up all the tickets for $1 and resold them outside the school.
I'm crying. That's how you make money.
Right.
That's how you do it. That's crazy. Yeah. Like, to see the full circle, and then obviously Drake coming to OTR, and it's like,
yes,
yeah. Yo, how did that feel in that moment? Like, yo, bro, like I threw on one of Drake's first shows, and then now he's back.
That was definitely a full circle moment for me. Like that, like I don't think anything OTR can top that aside from like Jay-Z.
Yeah,
was like that.
Wait, you met Jay-Z too?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, tell me the story with that.
Oh God. No.
But that one for me is just like, because technically, especially when on my entrepreneurship realm, everything started right there. Yeah. I mean, that was when I had all the guts and the glory. I'm like, all right, I was jittery, I was scared, I was petrified. But I just used all that to keep pushing forward because I'm like, yo, I know I can make this happen. And from that moment on, I take that moment every time I get scared about something. Because in this game, you're going to get nervous. You get petrified. Be like, nigga, I got Drake. Like, I can make things happen if I just push myself forward. The fear was what will hold you back unless you can use it as a weapon. So ever since then, that right there, I use as a pivot to my career and just launched my whole life. And till this day, I'm like, all right, just remember who you are, because it's easy to forget.
Yeah. Ooh, that is really true.
Yeah.
No, seriously. So obviously, like with everything that you do at OTR and stuff like that, like first of all, how did you? And I never asked this question because I wanted to ask it here. How did you and Gabe meet?
That was funny because Gabe started OTR in 2018. I met Gabe in 2019 when I was working at Sony. I was working alongside a small JV called Same Plate. Okay. The publicist, Jennifer, was like, oh, we was at a Marlon Craft show. Come to the Marlon Craft show. I'm like, all right, bet. Because, I mean, I was working and handing out halal food anyway.
Yeah.
Gabe, yeah, it was wild. Gabe was at the Marlon Craft show, and she just introduced me to him, and we just sat there and started talking, really. And I was just like, wow, this kid could talk a lot.
Oh my God.
He's a talker, like. Yeah. And then he was so true to himself, it's like I couldn't really hate on him because he was like telling me he was doing digital at Power. I'm like, that's cool. It's cool to know somebody at Power. Yeah. He told me how he had a podcast about comic books with Charlamagne the God. I'm like, okay. Well, Charlamagne, like, he's in the comic books. I'm not really into that type of stuff. But the fact that you feel comfortable to tell me, I'm like, okay. So we just kind of really just talk and just get in contact. Like, that's my guy ever since. I remember, like, he was at what'd you call that joint? Travis Scott's show, Astroworld. Yeah. And the whole thing broke out. I remember hitting him like, "Yo, you good, bro? Like, you didn't even come get you? Like, you alright?"
Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what's going on.
So like we were just locked in from that very show. Like it's crazy because I really don't at a show you can't really hear nobody. Yeah. But me and Gabe for some odd reason locked in, and that's been my guy ever since.
Listen, everything happens for a reason. Yeah. I tell you.
I guess
Just like even hearing like your story, Calvin's, Rob, like how everybody kind of meet, and we were talking about this today, like how everybody kind of just like met each other without like meeting each other. Like it's so funny. It's like, oh well, this person knows this person and this person kept in contact with this person, and it's literally about, like I said, it's always about who you know and not what you know, because like you can get yourself in those spaces to where you can really sit down and be like, oh shoot, like you never know, somebody might just say something, you're like, I kind of was thinking about going that route anyway, so let me tap in, see what you got going on or whatever, and bam, now we got.
Yeah, and what's funny, I'm really bad with keeping in contact with people.
Really?
Honestly.
Yeah, you're not the best texter. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Not too much.
Not the best texter.
Not too much. I'm not, because you see my phone, I get flooded with texts. Yeah. Like, there's mad things going on. So, for some reason, we just stayed locked in. We kept up with each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's my guy ever since. I'm like,
So what, like, solidified, like, okay, now we're going to do OTR together. Like, this is what's going to happen. Like, what made that happen?
Honestly, Gabe was, like, when OTR came back after the pandemic, like, he was doing Zoom interviews and everything like that. He went to transition, like, he was known as a drill platform. OTR was known as the drill platform, really, for real, in the city. But he went to transition into, like, more so, like, rappy raps. So I was like, really? I know these guys out in Buffalo. Like, I'm affiliated. Like, I know some people out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which was the Griselda guys.
Oh, okay.
And they had just did a doc on Revolt at the time. So I'm like, my man Rick Hyde, he's like produces for them. He's signed underneath Benny. I'm like, I might know somebody like the Griselda boys that might be interested in coming up. He's like, really? You know Griselda? And like, he was like kind of starstruck about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm here thinking they some local ass Buffalo niggas. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, but they have a very core niche fan base, and he was one of them.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, oh, you okay? Let me make a phone call.
Yeah.
And shortly enough, that week, I went to see Rick Hyde because he had that show out here. He was just like, yo, I'm out here, bro. Like, I'm just trying to figure something out, to do something. I'm like, I might have something for you to do, honestly. And you want to pull up?
Yeah.
My man Gabe got this freestyle joint. You're like, all right, man, fuck it.
Yeah.
So, just from that moment, he came. He brought Benny with him. But even before that, we tried to book some people. Like Eddie Kane was the first one that come up. Billy Esco, and then was Rick Hyde.
Okay.
But yeah, we booked a few people, but that was like the real one that like solidified it for real. Because Rick Hyde brought Benny with him.
Wow.
And Benny did his
crazy.
intro. So he was like, yo, I'm like, bro, we could really run this up if you want to run it
up.
Yeah.
It's always like that one moment that solidifies everything that you're like, damn, this could work. Like, this can be something. Like, this can move forward. Like, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, not for nothing, because I was kind of hesitant with it at first. Because, like I said, Gabe, my guy, so I'll just bring it, like, me when he mentioned that, like I said, bought him Eddie Kane and then fucking Billy Esco. But then we were really trying, like, after Rick, I was like, nah, somebody had a convo with me. They're like, yo, what's up with you and Gabe? I'm like, what you mean? He like y'all doing things together? I'm like, that's my guy. Like, I ain't doing nothing. Then I'm like, you know what? And not for nothing, I went to go speak to Rob first before I spoke to Gabe.
Really?
Yeah, because Rob was the producer. And look, I'll tell you right now. First time I came to OTR, right?
Yeah.
Gabe like, yo, pull up on me. I'm like, all right, bet. I come to the door. Gabe not there. He running late. Rob was the first one. This nigga greeted me, looked me up and down, like, who's you, nigga? I'm like, oh, word? Like, who you? Like, I'm here to see Gabe. Who you?
I'm crying.
I didn't know he was running the board.
I'm the owner of this house. Right? I'm the owner of this house. That's what he said. I'm crying.
Nigga sent me to the kitchen to go wait. I'm like,
no, you did not.
I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, yo, fam, where you at? Call Gabe, where you at? He's like, yeah, I'm pulling up right now. But me and Rod got really close and got acquainted. So I'm like, yo, I really think I'm about to try to do this joint full time. I'm about to speak to Gabe about it. How you feel about it? You know what I mean? Because I just want the extra push, if anything.
Yeah.
And Rob was like, yeah, bro, shoot your shot. Like, let's do it. Let's go ahead. Yeah. So first came with building artists. And then I had a conversation with Gabe last year about, yo, not for nothing, we should build a label.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. So how is that, like, building a label? Because obviously there's a lot that goes into building a label. Like, that is like from the ground up. Like, I could imagine, especially you coming from like Atlantic and stuff like that, and you having kind of like the insight where you can kind of trial and error with your own, like with the label and stuff. So it's like, oh, being at Atlantic, let me see what works, what doesn't, and then kind of like acclimating that and kind of bringing it over, but like perfecting it basically. So how has that been?
I mean, because I have different levels of label experience.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, when you at the labels, like especially the majors, they will, I won't say gatekeep, but they want you to stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Like when I was at Atlantic, if you was in promotions, they want you to stay in promotions.
Yeah.
If you in marketing, they want you to stay in marketing. If you in A&R, like, don't try to, you know what I mean, key too much, which is one of the things my boss hated.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, because I was the type of person where I figured if I knew everybody in the building, I would get something done. I'm not waiting for nothing.
Yeah.
So if you was in video, I'm gonna get to know you.
Yeah.
If you in marketing, I'm gonna get to know you.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I come from a party background. So like when you get to know people want to come to your desk, people want to pour shots.
Yeah.
And I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, I get the job done because whenever something happens, I can talk to somebody directly. I don't gotta do all this email stuff. I just make a phone call.
Ooh, that's true.
So
I didn't even think of that.
I'm always the type of person that I gotta get to know everybody.
Yeah.
So when you come from the major labels, they want you to stay in your pocket, and that's one of the things I never really got accustomed to or liked. Yeah. And then when I went to Sony, Same Play was a small knit group. It was only like 5 or 6 people, and I really set up to do the finance part. But just because I was trying to get back into music from TV, and it being so small, like OTR, we end up overlapping doing all this other stuff.
Oh, shoot.
So I'm like, I seen both realms. So when we started the label, it's like taking both worlds and mixing it into one so that way it can work for you. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been challenging nonetheless, but it's been a great journey. I'll be telling Gabe, he's the first artist on the OTR, for real. Like, I'm running a label and you just out here just being an artist at this point.
I'd be looking at Gabe. I'd be like, okay, I see you on the track. Even on like Tease Me, I'm like, bro, that's fire. Like, even little things like that. Like, I don't know, seeing you guys as a team, like, it's definitely motivating. Even like I was telling like Victoria, even coming there, one thing I will say, whenever I'm down and I feel like very unmotivated, I know I can come to OTR because y'all are moving a mile a minute and something is getting done. Like, despite if you're over here with a phone call, Gabe is over, somebody's doing something, and then I'm like not forced to do something, but it makes me want to be like, okay, let me jump in, like let me help. And usually like when Rob's like, no, like pull up, and I'm like, are you sure? Like I don't want to be pull up.
Oh, you
like,
be doing that?
Yeah.
You soft.
Don't do that. Don't nod your head.
You gang. You need to just pull up.
I know. That's why I was like, this year I want to obviously come around more and stuff like that. And even like, that's why I was pushing so hard. I'm not gonna lie. One thing I will say, I was nervous pushing Nashville only because of the fact that like, I knew that sometimes like pushing y'all, like, mostly Gabe, out of his comfort zone like that, it's like, I don't know. And I was like, listen to this playlist I made. Like, it was like, no, but
we
then
matched playlists.
Yes.
We was on point.
Yeah. When me and John,
we
were going back and forth, and I was like, oh no, John fucks with it. So like, I really think that Gabe's gonna fuck with it. Like, and me and John, he was like, let me see your playlist. And I was showing him who I had, and he was like, okay, I got this person. I was like, ooh, this is gonna work. And then obviously everything kind of trickled with Beyonce coming out, and it just, everything matched up the way it was supposed to. And I was like, thank God, because if this would have went to shits, I would have went to shits.
Yeah,
like that's literally what happened.
I think it just takes that confidence too and stuff. Like I think when you're on the edge, like, oh, I don't know, like why would somebody like take your input? So you got to have that confidence as well.
Mm-hmm. It is hard to have that confidence, so especially like in a room full of other entrepreneurs. But I feel like when you do it, it's helpful because you never know. Like we kind of pick off of each other to kind of be like, oh, I have this idea, and then you never know, somebody might kind of like help you like go through the idea, like, okay, but what if we switch this, just to kind of, and I feel like that's kind of what OTR is like. Everybody picks off of each other, everybody helps each other out, and I love it. Listen, I think that platform overall is, the best platform in like, listen,
America.
I do think that the way it's going, and just like the avenues of like getting country and getting like other, not platforms, other genres of music, like, bro, who is doing that? Like, to be completely honest,
they too scared to get out their comfort zone, or they ain't got the eyes and the ears for it.
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing with OTR is we all like love hip hop, but we all come from a diverse sense of music. Like, I don't just listen to hip hop. I listen to a whole lot of different things. Like, you come on a 5-hour drive with me, you gonna hear 5-6 different genres. On God.
Yeah.
So like Gabe has a very much, like, he loves rock music. Rob listens to Spanish music, R&B, hip hop, like real spitters. Like I listen to country music, pop music. Like I listen to everything.
Yeah.
As long as it's fire, I listen to everything.
We were literally doing a little listening party. There was a girl, I don't know her last name, but I know her first name is Sasha. She has a song called Hold On, and she's from the UK. Oh my goodness.
Hi, Sasha.
That song. Ooh. I think she likes girls, actually, so.
Everybody likes girls till they don't.
Okay.
This just took a
turn.
This just took a crazy turn. But no, that song, Hold Up, is amazing. And I'm like, bro, like, she just like the energy of the song, like it's the choir that she had in the back, like it's fire. But what would be like advice, like 3 pieces of advice you would give to why are you looking at me like that?
Like what? I'm just listening.
What would be 3 pieces of advice you would give to like a college student or somebody who is looking to actually like work in the industry?
1 is get an internship. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think they can just come know somebody and that's it.
Yeah.
I would say internships and get one as early as possible.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get one till my junior year, but I think that's just the way the school was set up at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't let you.
Some of them are. Some of them are set up to where you can get it into like either your sophomore or junior year.
Yeah. But I would say try to get one as soon as possible. If you already know the lane you want to go in, especially if you want to go into music, try to get an internship, whether it's like during school or during the summer. Me, I did everything I could. 2, I mean, it could be very scary at times, like especially in certain instances. Cause you be thrown to the fire. I would say just do it scared. Really, that's the biggest advice. Like, cause you'll be petrified. They, especially working with a major, they'll go and throw you against the wall. JV, he told you like, yeah, I came in, John just threw me against the wall. Like, I'm like, yeah, go make something happen, boy. Yeah, and he did every time. That boy good. That boy good. That's my heart. But do it scared and put your best foot forward. And I don't know, man. Like, stay level-headed. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I feel like there's so much pressure that comes with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you try to balance like your professional life and your personal life, that it's easy to crash out.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's really easy. Like a lot of people at the top deal with depression and anxiety and all types of stuff. So really like staying grounded and keeping your core around you, like your family and your friends, when you're on your journey is very important. I struggle with that sometimes because I be wheeling, dealing, moving a million miles a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Sometimes it's just good to just stop and be like, yo, let me go see what my sister doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's good for your mental health, and that's especially in this game. That's the most important thing I can tell you. Take care of yourself.
Damn. I'm not gonna lie, that's a good one because people don't realize like this does like being in the industry takes a toll because this is not a 9 to 5. This is a 24/7 job. 24/7. You're like to see even like OTR, the entire staff, everybody's on their phone 24/7. The only time I never see them on their phone is probably when they sleep. Like that's the only time that they probably not touching their phone.
I don't even sleep that well because my phone be ringing still.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and then you got people from different time zones.
I actually got to the habit where my phone goes on like sleep mode at 11 o'clock now.
Okay.
So I won't be disturbed unless my phone's in my hand. I won't see a message till
The
whenever.
morning.
Yeah.
Okay. That
So
makes
like,
sense.
if y'all after 11 p.m., the hell with you.
Yeah,
That's
because
good.
I think even too, like when you're an entrepreneur and you're working for yourself and stuff, it's like you really make your time and your schedule and stuff. So it's like who's telling you to be like, no, like it's your clock out time. Like,
Yeah.
That'd be the tricky part about entrepreneurship. They be like, you be on your own time, but your own time ain't never really your time because you trying to make a business happen.
Yeah.
So you really working 24/7.
Yeah.
It's just the more you work, the more it benefits you, as opposed to the more you work, it benefits somebody else.
Talk about it. Please talk about it.
I'm just saying.
People don't understand.
They
People
don't understand.
get it.
Like, it'd be a grind. Like, I could stop right now to come chill with you. Like, I be getting mad at my friends sometimes. Cause they be like, yo, where you been? Then they want to talk on the phone with you about bullshit. I'm like, I could be doing this, that, and the third with this 3 hours you trying to waste my time. Like, but it's about finding like a balance.
Yeah, balance. No, that's good. I think balance is necessary. Honestly, like this industry is not for the game. Like it's not for the weak. I feel like any job you work in, it is just not for the weak. Especially if like you really want to make a business out of it.
Right. And you got to deal with all those egos on top of it too.
Yeah.
Everybody in this industry got egos.
Yeah. It's a very ego-driven corporation.
Yeah.
Rock keeps us all humble. Shout out to Rock. He keeps us all humble.
For real.
Cause it'd be easy. Like I said, one thing I learned in my journey, especially in college, was I was on top of the world, the biggest promoter in Buffalo, and I'm like, I want more. One thing about me, I always want more.
Yeah.
Like this ain't enough for me.
Yeah.
Shit, now it ain't enough for me. So I'm like, okay. But I remember once somebody that was part of my team one time was like, yo, we really on top of the world, this, that, and third. I'm like, nigga, you get paid $150 an hour as a DJ, and you sound like you run the city.
Yeah.
If the city's enough for you, then you reach your cap.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing ever enough for me.
Right.
Wow.
And you're a real entrepreneur. I feel like that's what it is. Like once you reach your goal, which I reached my goal 3-4 times over, nothing's ever really enough. And that's why I kind of left Buffalo.
Wow.
Cause I stayed there after I graduated to run the company, but I left the company in my partner's hands at that point because I'm like, I just want more.
Yeah. And look at you now.
Question.
I'm satisfied.
So being like you always get to that step where it's like, okay, I want more for myself, right? Have you ever been like in a quiet period and you felt like nothing was happening like at that time and you kind of like, what do I do now?
Absolutely. But that's part of entrepreneurship. Honestly, that's why it's not for the weak because it's real easy to crash out. I've been at times where like, okay, when I went to leave TV, because I was at BET, I was doing, like, when I left Atlantic, went to BET, they put me on, I was doing 106 in Park. That joint went around for 2 months before they told me the show got canceled.
Oh, wow.
Then they switched me to special events, doing the BET Awards and this and that. A lot of people got laid off, so I was fortunate enough to get switched over. But like as fun as it was, I'm like, let me get back to like what I started. Like I really love music. Yeah. I'm like, but again, I had to go to the finance department to really figure it out. I'm like, all right, this is opening. They're gonna take me. Why not? But then it's like, this is not what I want to do. Like, how do I grow? For a minute, it gets to a point where it's like you feel like you're stuck there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So how do you really grow? And that's when you guys start trying to position yourself in a point where you make yourself valuable. You'd be like, all right, it was just rough because you feel like you're starting over. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I got this resume. I got this resume. I did this, that, and third. Yeah. But they act like they don't know who you are, so they got to show them who you are. That's where your ego comes into place. And it might seem, you might have to get a little aggressive.
Talk about it.
You might be turned to an asshole, but I'm like, all right, I'm about to show you, like, you don't know who the fuck. Okay, y'all must have lost your mind. Yeah. So, and it's funny enough, now, all the people that were assholes, like, all right, cool, you know, John, we'll keep you in mind. Yeah. They on my phone now? Yeah.
Literally.
Yo,
It's crazy. It's crazy how the tables turn.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how the tables turn. But no.
Yeah.
That's why I be trying to be nice to everybody. I don't care who you are. When I walk
Yeah.
into a room, I'm gonna say hi to the janitor.
Literally,
for
because you
real.
never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
People don't understand. You never know who you might run into. You have
Right.
no idea. Like, no, that I'm not gonna lie. Look, that was a good gem to drop.
Take that, Calvin. Yeah.
That's a good gem to drop.
Yeah.
I'm crying. No, but no, I really appreciate you coming onto the pod. Obviously, we've been trying to get you on, and yes, it's our fault. Okay, I know. Dang, like
I'm glad you know.
don't even do that, because I feel like he was about to be like, but you.
But I've been here. I've been right here for
Yeah,
you.
he been here for sure. But no, I really appreciate you coming onto the podcast, and I'm really excited for all the other stuff we have in store at OTR.
Yeah, I'll say that for my part 2.
Tight, okay.
Okay.
Tight,
bet.
look, tight.
Tight.
Shout out to Kaya, you know, what I mean, for providing me for my drink of choice.
Drink of choice.
Yes, drink of
21
choice.
and older. Thank you.
Yeah, that too.
21 and older. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching Dorm 101 podcast, the podcast that has everything and nothing to do about college. I am once again your girl, Maya Gans, and I'm of course here with my roomie Victoria, and of course our co-host. Jesus Christ.
Y'all sign me up, baby. I'm outside. I might be late, but I'm around.
Our guest today, John. Thank you so much. And yeah, we will see you guys in our next video. Bye. Here, that was longer than 30, just FYI.
Yeah, fuck out of here. Yeah, I got something to talk about.
Huh?
Huh?